His own mother came to him the night before the war. She held his hands and begged him not to fight. And Karna looked at her, the woman who abandoned him at birth, and smiled and said, "You never called me your son, not once in my entire life. But today I will give you a gift. I promise you still will have 5 sons after this war, because I will not kill 4 of your Pandavas. Only Arjun or me, one of us will die. And you will still have 5." She wept. She walked away and never looked back. But who was this man? How did a boy born in a basket become the greatest warrior of his age? This is the story nobody tells completely. This is Karna, part 1. The boy nobody wanted. She was young and afraid. Princess Kunti, daughter of a great king, she had received a boon from the sage Durvasa. She could summon any god. She could summon any god and bear his child. Curious and naive, she tested it. She called upon Surya, the sun god himself, and he came, blazing and golden. A boy born with golden armor on his chest and golden earrings on his ears. Divine gifts from his father the sun. But Kunti was terrified. She was unmarried, she was princess. What would people say? What would her father think? So she made the most painful decision of her life. She placed her newborn son in a basket, linked it with soft cloth, kissed his forehead one last time, and placed him in a river, and watched him float away. Can you imagine that moment? A mother watching her son disappear, knowing she would never hold him again. She spent the entire life pretending she didn't know him. The basket floated downstream until a humble charioteer named Adhiratha found it. He and his wife Radha had no children. They held this golden baby and wept with joy. They named him Vasusena, but the world would know him as Karna, son of charioteer, low-born, unwanted, or so everyone thought. From childhood, Karna was different. He didn't play like other boys. He practiced every single day, bow and arrow, from sunrise to sunset. He had one dream: to become the greatest archer in the world. To learn from Dronacharya, the greatest teacher of his age, teacher of the Pandavas and Kauravas, teacher of princes and kings. So one day young Karna walked to Dronacharya ashram, head bowed, heart full of hope, and asked to be taught. Dronacharya looked at him and asked, "What is your caste? Who is your father?" Karna said, "I am son of Adhiratha the charioteer." And Dronacharya shook his head. "I only teach royalty, not the son of a charioteer. Go home, boy." And just like that, the door was closed. Not because Karna wasn't talented, not because he wasn't worthy, but because of who his father was, or rather, who everyone thought his father was. But Karna didn't cry, he didn't beg. He walked away and trained harder, alone in the forest, every night, every morning, rain or shine, because nobody was going to stop him, not even the greatest teacher in the world. He was rejected before he even began, judged before anyone saw what he could do. Born on the wrong side of a society with the right soul. Sound familiar? Maybe you have felt this too. Rejected, overlooked, told you don't belong. Karna's story is not just ancient history, it is your story. It is every person who ever had to prove themselves alone. Subscribe to Krishna Wisdom, because in part 2 we reveal the moment Karna stood before thousands, was publicly humiliated, lost everything in one day, and what he did next will make you stand up and cheer. Thank you, and subscribe for this wonderful part 2 video, and stay tuned and subscribe to the channel so that you can hear the words best archer next to Arjun or equal to Arjun is none other than the great Karna, who will stood in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. This is going to be really outstanding. This is going to be make you really literally, the one who came from this much of struggles in his life and came all the way to stood in front of everyone who thought he can't do it. He proved to the world that he can do anything whichever it is impossible, he will achieve it with his faith and his skills. So always trust on your skills and your braveness and also your courage, which will take you a long way. That is what the Karna has told, and that is what the Karna is all about. And he is not just a warrior, he is a living, legendary example, whoever studies Mahabharata. So stay tuned for the upcoming videos, which is going to be stunning and also going to be more information on the great Mahabharata story, which is an epic and it cannot be done in a single or two videos because it will take immense trouble, patience, and everything. But it's worth it because learning about the greatest history is not only going to let you down, it is going to make you brave and also it will help you in all your decisions in your life. So think of the story as how the Karna has got from back of the feet to the glory which world has seen, from the boy who was rejected initially, and now the whole world is looking after him to see his majestic bow and arrow, the strength and the courage to stood against the biggest mighty Pandavas and the Arjun, and also the greatest Lord Krishna, and over the charioteer, the great Hanuman, so which nobody can even think of to stand before the greatest of all, the powerfulness and the consciousness, everything all together, put together, and this going to be an epic story which is going to come in the part two, and it will be really, really awesome. So stay tuned and you'll enjoy. Thank you, and do subscribe to my channel so that you'll get a lot of videos and the most important update on the history of Kurukshetra and also about the Krishna and more than that and many others as well. So next will be the part two. Stay tuned. Thank you so much.